You guys have seen this truck before. This is the one that the receiver hitch rusted out and failed. I also put a new hitch on it. Figured I'd show you what failed this time. It is the rear shackle that holds the leaf spring. Here's the replacement for it. So you can probably see she's sitting pretty low on this corner. I'm also gonna do the shocks on that. So between everything I need to do, I've just decided I'm gonna pop the bed. So I'm gonna get underneath there, take the 8 bolts out that hold the bed, pick the bed up off, get it out of the way, clean the frame up a little bit, and get that changed. So here we go. Just so I don't forget, I want to get the filler neck out first. So we got the little plastic nub down here on the bottom, and then these 2 Torx, they're T30s, and we'll see how they come out. I've already sprayed them, but this one has already been tough. It's just spinning. Okay, that one came out. It is loose. Yeah. If you see right there, you can see it actually spun out. So I have to get something on the back side of that to get it out. Now we'll get the little guy out. Little plastic piece. So if you can pull the center, then the rest of it usually just pops right out. So there it is, right there. Whoop. So filler neck is completely free now. Okay, with that done, we'll get it back in the shop and kind of give it a quick once over. All right, on a quick inspection, we already knew that one was bad. This one is just as bad. It won't take much and that one will be blown apart. So the bottom bushings are really easy. Take either a flat disc, Sawzall, or even your torch. Just go in, cut both sides of the bolt, and that will then just kind of pop out of there. On the upper bushing, a little bit harder. On this particular one, you can see there's a little space, so I used a thin Sawzall blade, and hopefully you can see right there, I was able to cut it, and then just take my chisel and pound on that a little bit to get it to kind of do that. And then just make sure everything on the back side is out. There's a little flange right there. I need to beat that up just a little bit, and this should pop out. So just beat on it. With the old ones out and everything cleaned up, it is time to put the new ones in. I don't have the actual tool to push these in, and since I'm not taking them off the truck, I'm using my ball joint superset from OTC, and these are the pieces that I'm using to press it back in. So just take your bushing, kind of get it started, try to get it square. Tool's got to be backed all the way out to make this work. Again, not exactly the right tool for this job. Put just a little pressure, and then we're going to grease this thing up good. Most of this is going to just squirt out and make a mess everywhere, but if it helps it go in even just a little bit, it's worth doing. The other thing, I won't use an impact on my tool. They recommend you don't, and it makes sense, so I'm just going to put a ratchet on it. We'll start tightening it up. Hopefully you can already see it's going in pretty easy. So you can see that little flange that was on it is tight against this side, and then the actual insert is sticking out on both sides. So when we put the bracket on, like we see here, we can actually tighten that up and it crimps against that, that little barb on the center. One thing, leave these loose. Don't get them all the way tight until you get it into the bottom bolt. So as soon as we get our other bracket on, we'll jack the truck up and put them in. Both shackles all greased up and the bolts in the top, it's time to jack it up, get these, draw them down, put the bolts in the bottom, and this thing will be sitting on its own again. All right, now all that's left is tightening up the bolt, put the shocks back on, and we're ready to put the bed back on. Toughest part about this job is definitely getting the bushings out of the eyelets and getting the lower part of the shackle that has the bushing out. But taking the bed off gave me lots of room, made it much easier. And while you got the bed off, you might as well just do rocker panels and cab corners just for fun.